Good afternoon. You're watching the news here at CNN News 18. My name is Toya Singh. We're going to walk you through all of the country's top stories at this hour. Our first is an update coming into you from Karnataka. We're going to shift our focus to it right now. This is the Mangaluru blast probe. You'll remember on Saturday, a moving auto rickshaw exploded in Mangaluru, causing fire and heavy smoke. The driver and the passenger were among those who sustained burned injuries. The passenger is being treated as the prime suspect. Now we have a huge update for you in this entire story. Top intelligence sources are saying that the blast was not only an act of terror, but also that the person who is being treated as the prime suspect, who is currently the passenger, he was the passenger in the auto rickshaw, he is currently recovering in the hospital. He has been identified. There were, remember, till now big questions on his identity. Now, we do have more details for you on this entire story. We will have a colleague join you in just a second to bring you more updates on exactly what those intelligence source updates are. My colleague Harish Upadhyay is with us right now. Harish, bring us more details, at least what we do have right now about the boy, or rather the man who is being said to be the prime accused in this story.
Well, the man who perhaps the police are suspecting is the accused in this case, who's receiving treatment at a private hospital, is possibly Sharik. Sharik is the terrorist who was absconding when the Shimoga police cracked down on the module which was carrying out the trial blast on the banks of River Tunga. Two people were arrested. The third one was missing, that is Sharik. And he's someone who was close to other terrorists as well, including Al-Hind, ISIS-backed unit here in South India. And right now, his family from Matitali, Shimoga is being sent to Mangalore for a positive identification. What is making this entire process all the more difficult is the fact that this man's face has been partially burnt, is what we understand. It's been slightly disfigured. So a positive identification by police will require multiple tests, including getting his family to look at him and give some sort of clues on whether they do identify him as Sharik. So that process is on. But most indicators right now suggesting that this man who carried this cooker that had the low-intensity IED is possibly Sharik, who's receiving treatment, who is in ICU in a private hospital in Mangaluru. And there are three crucial aspects here. One, he was arrested for a graffiti in Mangaluru earlier, which said Lashkar Zindabad, and he was out on bail. After that, the Shimoga police in September this year cracked down on a module, ISIS module in Shimoga, which had carried out a trial blast on banks of River Tunga, out of which two people were arrested. Sharik was missing in that particular case, and he's said to have been in touch with other missing and absconding terrorists who have a bounty by the NIA on their head, and he was supposedly in touch with them. So this is an existing module, terror module, that has carried out this low-intensity blast in Mangaluru. Those are the indicators coming in right now. Whether other people who are helping him, he's said to be in touch with one person who is currently being traced by the police. So possibly more others in the coming few days, but at least the first major lead that the Karnataka police have in this case.
Okay, all right. Just stay with us, please, Harish, on the phone. I believe our colleague Ritu is also with us. Ritu, you've been bringing us updates from the ground so far. Mangaluru, obviously a highly communally sensitive region. I know that security presence has been much increased since yesterday. What can you tell us?
Well, exactly. See, after this whole incident came into the light, the security here has been stepped up. There are barricades that are in place. You can see here as well at the spot too. There are barricades as well. The vehicle movements are being, there is a check post as well where the police is checking and then letting these vehicles to move on this road. But this is a busy road and also connects to the multiple other locations as well. So it would be difficult for police to shut down this whole road completely. But this is the whole spot that you can see. There are these marks as well where the police had found this explosive materials too, which in the visual that you can see are marked, but barricades in place. Police too are being deployed here, and meanwhile you see the officers' movements is also being seen here as part of the investigation in process. But meanwhile, the auto rickshaw where this whole explosion took place is kept just behind this tent that you can see in the visual. We also earlier brought these visuals to you as well. So that's where the auto rickshaw is placed, where this explosion took place. Inside the auto rickshaw as well, we tried showing you the visuals of the the footwear of this auto rickshaw as well, and the other materials which has completely shattered there, the mirror completely shattered as well. So that's all that you can see right now in the Mangaluru. But meanwhile, you see after this incident, and yesterday CM Basuraj Bommai, since he was also here, and right after that, after his departure, this whole incident took place, it would have turned out to be a different, altogether unimaginable incident as well. So in that backdrop, you see the police doesn't want to take any kind of risk and is ensuring that the security at every post and on almost all the locations here in the Mangaluru is stepped up right now. But police is also under tremendous pressure. There is a high-level meeting continuously been going on at the Mangaluru Police Commissioner's office as well. What we also do know is that in some time now in the evening is when an ADGP Alok Kumar too will be here at this spot for to take a complete account of what exactly has happened and where the investigation process has reached. But meanwhile, we also tried bringing you the visuals of where these both of them, the auto rickshaw driver as well as the passenger, is admitted as they had sustained with the burn injuries there. So the treatment, they are undergoing the treatment. But meanwhile, there are other details that police had also found out where the investigation is on. With all that, you see these shocking significant developments also coming up. But meanwhile, you see, talking about the Sharik who has been suspected of this whole incident, we also tried speaking to the eyewitness here who rushed to the spot while this person was screaming the passenger. So they too say that it's likely that he was looking, moreover it was he was a person who was looking very similar to this person of a picture that we're getting to see on our screens as well. But what they do say is that most of his body part was been completely burnt, so it was a bit difficult for them to understand. But through the hairs and the other features of the faces, seems like it would be him as well. But again, we'll have to wait for the police to give us that official confirmation.
Okay, Ritu, thank you for those details.